Okay, I had try to make this a little shorter, sweeter for both of our sakes. I am going mad. Alrighty, so we got all these graphics objects. Where should I start? Okay, yeah, I have my four models: cube, diamond, pyramid, and sphere. And each of them, I think right now they are set to write to file, but they all are capable of doing the read to file. So I'm just gonna go ahead and build it, show off that I actually have the baseline requirements done at least. Some of the stuff, I will say the sphere that I made is kind of broken in some ways. So the vertices definitely check out for the sphere, but it's just like the texture, anything with light, so something with the norms is definitely off. So that one, I mean, they're all the same texture, and this one, again, same thing. And the texture here, I think the texture is actually just a result of it being a sphere, and they're like not built for that. It's really funky, but you know, um, it is a model, so at least the vertices work. But yeah, so I have my four different objects, right? They're all showing they're rotating in different ways. All the different shaders are working. I got wireframe. These are actually scaled up too, these last guys, just to show off that. And what was the other thing? Oh yeah, press T, get a nice little texture switch. Oh, and just for your reference, the arrow keys no longer for whatever reason they weren't working for me, but I changed it over to WASD as the movement keys, and then also so I have, if you press P, it takes you to, I think it's like 202 or something like that. It sets the camera to there. So that's like what this perspective is right now. And then if you press O, I believe it takes you back to 00. So that is like pretty much the basics of what I had. I had the game object manager. I started adding, fleshing it out a lot more, but I didn't get to finish all this extra stuff. So I have, actually it's easier showing game. So I have like, no, it's not. So I have all these different functions to set different parameters. So the delta rotation X is like what I was trying to use to have it rotate around either an arbitrary axis or like an actual object itself. But I could not figure that last part out. The self does work. That's like them just spinning around their own axis, right? Whatever one. Scale works. Position works. So this is the movement that I was going to try to use for the actual moving of a like sphere around a sphere, or like rotating. So I had like this whole planet idea mapped out, and I like wrote it all, and then I like ran it, and they were all just like in the same spot. So didn't end up working as much. So my update, I have a game object man. Oh yeah, that's the PSES tree. It has an iterator, and just literally iterates through all of them until it's done. It's pretty hacky, but I use for the texture, I use a boolean that I set in the graphics object, but I set it to 0, and I only set it to 1 in the texture, not texture light, the flat texture. So if it is a flat texture, it's just like a check to see if it is a flat texture. And then if that's true, it calls this function, cycle texture, go to definition. And graphics object one doesn't actually do anything, but within where is it, flat texture, I actually do something. So like this is the only one that does have this like cycle texture function. So it is called as well because obviously the graphics object flat texture derives from the graphics object. Input manager, yeah, so that's how I do it, and that's a static, or what's it called? Singleton. Sorry, I'm losing it here. So for my camera manager, I have initially tried to do this kind of dumb thing, and I was just getting lost in a rabbit hole with like multiple cameras at once. So I just ended up deciding on one camera, and then when you click one of the buttons, you just send it. What's it called? Oh man, where am I? My camera. Okay, yeah. When you click P, these guys don't do anything. Oh yeah, they do something. Okay, so when you click it, you basically just send it this vector, and then it calculates where the camera should just go to. It like basically just like moves it, right? So it's kind of the same thing with like these movement ones. That was what I had for static movement. I think that was like the initial kind of stuff we had. So I could probably do like a macro and like turn it on or off or whatever. And what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so these are static functions that get called in the input manager if whatever key is pressed, WASD, like I said, and then oh yeah, I should show that they work without it. Oops. Let's do this real quick, and then that's probably all I got to show. Yeah, I definitely want to work on this more because as of yet. Oh, also this is the one other cool thing. This was in 470, like I said, so I don't really remember most of how it worked. But if you change this, it will change like the fidelity of the sphere, so you can get it down to like 3, and it kind of looks like this weird cube. I can't change it right now though, because if you're reading from it, obviously the vertices, like this will be different than what it like was, which would have been 15 or whatever. Alrighty, okay. Let's hope this doesn't crash. I don't want to make another video because it wasn't cleaned or something dumb like that. Hooray, okay, yeah, same stuff. Alrighty, well, that's pretty much it for me. Hope you enjoyed this video, and you have yourself a nice Thanksgiving. That's the holiday we're on. Okay, later, Ed.